And thank you very much, Adele. I'm joined here by my favourite guest, I have to admit. I've had a lot of guests on the show in the last couple of weeks, but Gary O'Donovan, very welcome back. You definitely are my favourite guest because you're the guest with the gift and the gift of the knowledge of wine. So you have two more specials this month going on in O'Donovan's off licence, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely, Ken, and thanks again for that introduction. Certainly it's great to be back on with you again. Yeah, we have two wines tonight that I think the viewers at home will appreciate. One is a white, of course, a Prosecco, which is on fire right now in the Irish market and internationally, and also then a red as we're going into autumn now as well. We've kind of moved towards kind of red wines as well, and kind of physiologically and psychologically. And so we have a lovely Bordeaux red owned by an Irishman to show you, called Chateau de la Ligne.
Okay, so let's start on the Prosecco, because Prosecco has become hugely popular in the last, we'll say, 7 or 8 years maybe.
Yeah, I would say, maybe 10 years or so since the kind of global meltdown, really, I suppose. Yeah. Up to that stage, champagne was quite popular and, you know, throughout the moneyed areas of the world. But of course, the recession that kicked in globally kind of made people think again about what they're looking for bubbles.
And of course, in Ireland, we have the additional tax on champagne tax.
We have a double drop, on duty on sparkling wine, anything with bubbles in it, which is a bit crazy. But
so if you have the cork, you're taxed. You're paying an additional €6 extra.
Yeah, well,
if
it's down to bubbles in the bottle really, and if a sparkling wine has less than 3.5 bars of pressure, it suffers only still wine duty rate. So Prosecco was able to split itself into Frizzante style, which is much cheaper as a result with a half the duty, or Spumante style, which is full duty. But whether which, even the full sparkling Prosecco is a third of the price of champagne, you know. So the consumption in Prosecco globally has gone through the roof.
It really has, because you never hear any more of champagne receptions. You hear the Prosecco reception. Prosecco is very acceptable to people. I even see it on tap.
Yeah. I think champagne now is very much a special occasion, you know. But something with bubbles in it doesn't have to be an extra special occasion. You can have it, at home with salads, with food as well, with friends, and light alcohol to 11%. This particular one is.
Now, what's this retailing at?
Yeah, this is retailing, believe it or not, under €10. It's $9.95. It's called IMPERATIvo, and it's a brand only on the Irish market since last month. So we have an exclusive with it, and it's basically from a very good brand called Imperativo. And they've kind of divested the brand and created little offshoots, and Imperativo was one of it. And the juice is the same, the bottle is different, the packaging is different, but the wine is the exact same. So at the price, it's a real good bargain.
$9.99.
$9.95, under a tenner. Okay. It's quite incredible, yeah. So cheers, yeah.
Good health. It's my favourite part of the show.
But unlike champagne, which is blended, all Prosecco is made from one grape variety, Glera, so that makes it a lot easier to make. And it's been planted at a huge rate of knots. In fact, the plantings of it now in the Veneto, where it comes from, is up 50% in the last 3 years. Yeah. So they can't plant it quick enough. Exactly. Keeping up with
and the bubbles are bigger in a Prosecco.
They're slightly bigger because it's made with the tank method. Again, no wine company is going to put the tank method on it, but that is how they're all made. Yeah. A lot of the Frizzantes particularly. And but certainly you have a nice bubble mousse to it. And on the aromatics, again, we get peaches and pears, etc.
We're getting a lot of pear. That's lovely.
Yeah, and then you have kind of this kind of red apple, almost kind of green apple, Granny Smith finish to it. So
that's very nice, and it's dangerously easy to drink, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very
See, all the girls are all jealous.
It's like Sauvignon Blanc, we always say to people, buy the second bottle because the first one might be gone pretty quick. But certainly, again, what I'd like to say to people at home at Prosecco, remember you should be getting 10 glasses out of this bottle.
That would never work in my house. They obviously have very, very small. Are you serving sherry glasses in your house, Gary?
Well, glasses such as this, and you should, for a sparkler, be getting 10 glasses out of a bottle. So that would make this Prosecco literally €1 a glass. You know?
Well, I have gigantic goblets in my house, and I always argue the point there's only 2 glasses of wine in the bottle.
Some people, I know what you're saying, but so that's what we say with champagne flutes or Prosecco flutes. So it's good value for money.
Should be getting roughly about 10 glasses.
You should be getting 10 glasses of bubbly, because you get the fizz coming up and all that.
Okay, and you serve that.
We say 6 out of a normal still wine bottle. We say 10 out of a bottle of sparkling. Yeah, that's for sure. So it's Imperativo. It's imperative that you try it. And I think the fruit is
working on that all morning.
And,
This is a very, very nice. And
it's very easy.
So I'm serving. Actually, we're barbecuing on Saturday. I don't know what the weather is going to be like, but we have a big group over for. But this is a really nice thing to serve, isn't it?
Absolutely.
With salad, barbecue.
Yeah, and it doesn't break the bank either. It doesn't really. You can get 10 bottles of this for 2 bottles of champagne, I suppose. And people find it nice and easy to drink. They love it. They will never refuse it, and it's very easy to drink and goes down very well, and very good with food as well. or a very good aperitif before a meal or before a barbecue, just to cleanse the palate and get everything set, you know.
Okay, so yeah, because we're used to the idea of going to the champagne reception or the Prosecco reception or Cava reception, whatever. But it is very acceptable to serve this
absolutely
now with
and I would say,
course,
you know,
fish.
there was a snobbishness up to 10 years ago that's been wiped away by the global meltdown, really, and Prosecco now, spumante or frizzante is very acceptable to most.
But that'd be really good. That'd be really good with salads. It'd be really good with fish.
Yeah,
really good with chicken as well.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, any of those, would go really, really well, and it
or
would
even with
complement
veal,
sauce as well.
I could see that working really well.
Yeah, and a classic style.
And for how much did you say it was?
$9.95.
And it's available in
O'Donovan's. O'Donovan's, all 8 branches around the city and county. Yeah, that's for sure.
Wow.
That's in the fridge right now as well.
There you go. Well, it won't be. By the time I get home, I'll have a couple of bottles of these gone. I can tell you. No, that is very, very nice.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah.
Now we're seeing, of course, it's Prosecco. It's Italian. We're seeing an awful lot of wines coming in from Europe, and we're seeing an awful lot of wines coming into the world that we never saw before, or into the country that we never saw before. Where's the big wine producer now for Ireland?
Yeah,
what are we buying in?
Yeah, there's a couple of new players on the pitch, really, Ken, and there's no doubt the number one is coming from South America, and that's Chile. You know, they're making the best wine at the lowest price internationally right now. They have magic volcanic soil, you know, and they have the magic pure water from the Andes Mountains. They irrigate it down, and they seem to be able to put the best fruit and veg and grow the best grapes at the best quality at the lowest price.
At the lowest price.
And the Chileans are number one in Ireland. But Ireland is one of their biggest markets as well,
really?
Must be said, yeah. But there's
some very nice Chilean wine out there now. It's no longer plonk that we were getting in at the start.
Yeah, as well as entry level now, you have second and third levels in, and they're making, you know, sparkling wine. They're making all sorts of varieties, and I must say, doing it very well and very well priced. But you also have the emergence of New Zealand with Sauvignon Blanc, obviously, Argentina with Malbec, and back in Europe we have the re-emergence of the likes of France, which we're going to get onto in a second there, but also the emergence of the likes of Portugal as well, that more and more people are going on holidays and seeing how good value for money Portuguese wine is.
I find with Portuguese wine, it is absolutely brilliant when you're there.
Yeah.
And when you're on holidays, but what's being exported at the moment, or what's available really to us, is very limited to what's actually out there in the market.
The problem there being that they use their own grape varieties, you know, and good luck to them, and they stick to their guns. There are not a lot of international grape varieties that grow in there, so there's a lot of explaining and selling to be done with Portuguese wine, which we would hope in the likes of O'Donovan's. We have people there who know the wine, who can talk to you about it. But off the shelf
I've said this to you before,
can be difficult.
What I really love about going into your place, and I'm not saying it because you're here, I'm telling you the truth, is that at least when I go into O'Donovan's, somebody knows about the wine, or is able to tell me what's going to go with what's nice about it. Because, you know, a lot of the time, people like me go in there and we pick because it's a nice label.
I know. That's
the truth. And sometimes you're onto a winner, and sometimes you're not. You know?
I've often kind of been amazed with particularly the French attitude, you know, that when they had 82% of the market here in Ireland in 1982, none of the back labels gave you any information. You didn't know what you were drinking. You were supposed to know what you were drinking. Yeah. And I think a lot of the other countries have gone ahead of some of the old world countries by giving you good back labels.
And that's what it is. It's the new world that recommends what you should be drinking with it.
When you inform people, you make their.
And I think Australia probably changed that for a lot of people.
Australia opened the door with the likes of Jacob's Creek in 1985. There's no doubt, with varietal labelling, with good tasting notes in the back, food and wine matchings. You know, and give you a clear idea of what you're going to be enjoying. And next thing, when you enjoy it,
is Australia still the biggest market?
It's not. It's number 2 now, and they're falling back. But it's not about the quality with Australia. It's more the strength of the dollar. Really, in the last 10 years, has put their price points out a little bit. But they are coming back, and they are anxious to regain the number 1 spot. And Australian wines are really good. They have the best sunshine in the world, probably. The big problem there is water and the cost of shipping water to irrigate your vines, etc. But they still make stunning wines, and I think they're going to come back in the equation.
And I have to say, New Zealand does a great job as well.
New Zealand is fine.
Beautiful wines out there.
They do some great stuff, you know, with the rugby and the lamb and the dairy product, but great Sauvignon Blanc and wines as well.
And you're off to Australia shortly,
Yeah, I am. I'm on a tour, a 2-week intensive tour, and in a couple of weeks' time, going onto the outback. And tasting.
Explain now what the intensive tour is.
Yeah, an intensive day on tour. I'm going with Wine Australia, for example, and we'll be doing 3 or 4 wineries a day.
Oh God, Gary, you have a tough life, haven't you?
And we'll be tasting wines early on in the day, better. And having a light lunch, you know, and then going off and visiting some vineyard somewhere, and then having some more tastings maybe, and have dinner with some winemakers and get their feel on things and how they go about things, and that's how you learn. And as a buyer, that's what I need to do. I need to travel.
And you need to taste and see what's new and what's coming up as well.
And meet people behind the bottles too, you know, the winemakers.
Because that's the very interesting thing as well. There's some great stories out there, because there's a lot of Irish stories as well.
There is,
and second generation stories.
And every good bottle of wine should have a good story, you know. That's something
true.
we all strive for.
That
as
is
well,
true.
So,
Let's move on to this one, which is Chateau
de la Ligne.
Yes. Now I've actually had this, and you're retailing this at what now?
At 15 quid, well, 14.95, yeah.
Because you charged me 23, 24 euros not so long ago. So this is on sale. I wonder, could I take back the empties?
That was a different vintage, I think, isn't it?
Well, it probably was.
But no, it is on offer. It is normally 20 euro. Yeah. And this is a wine with a great story, you know. This is a wine where the winery is owned by a fantastic character called Terry Cross. And Terry is a self-made man from the Falls Road. I think he'll kill me if I'm wrong now. Up in Belfast, and during the troubled times, he created a packaging company called Delta. And Delta Packaging now is worldwide. Of plants in India and China and all these sort of things. The Big Mac wrappers, they kind of go for that sort of business now. But Terry was always passionate about wine, and Bordeaux was always his favourite spot. So he was looking around there for a good 10 or 15 years or so. But he put his money where his mouth is in the 2000.
And bought a vineyard.
On St. Patrick's Day, signed the deal. And he bought.
So it truly is an Irish wine.
Absolutely, and he bought it, and it was a former Lord Mayor's residence over the years in Bordeaux. It was a monastery previous to that. There's been vines recorded here since 1800s, you know. But when Terry bought it in 2000, there was no vines planted. All the vines had been killed off in 1956 with a severe frost.
Right.
But Terry said no.
So he
replanted it in 2000. Spent a hell of a lot of money. And got the winemaking team from Cheval Noir, a top Saint-Emilion property.
So this wine has only been on the market since
I think the first vintage that he released in Ireland was probably 6 or 7 actually. Yeah, even though I had tasted one. But so this is, he's a well bit into it now, and the wine is tasting great, and it's getting better every time.
But it does feel like an old world kind of.
It does, and that's deliberate.
I know it's from Bordeaux, but it does feel like an old world wine.
It's 12 months in oak, you know, so you're getting that kind of vanilla spice coming through there. Also a bit of bottle age as well, and when you get to Chateau de la Ligne, it always has that bottle age, which always improves it immeasurably.
That is a lovely, well-rounded wine.
It's silky smooth. It has all that a good Bordeaux claret should have.
So that's
blackberries, black plums, etc. Spice, vanilla, beautiful alcohol feel, and lovely length to it. And there's quality throughout, you know.
There is, you can feel it. You can feel like you're enjoying a really nice wine.
You know, the finish, we always gauge a wine is about 20 seconds. You know, we must get to 20 seconds, otherwise you simply don't qualify for the race of being selected.
And that's mainly a Merlot grape, is it?
It is Merlot dominated, Cabernet, Merlot about 60%, Cabernet about 30-35, and there's a 5% of Cabernet Franc in there as well.
Really good with lamb.
Really good with lamb this time of year, really good with beef, really good with any savoury dish, really. You'll have the strength and the power of this to go through.
But it's not overpowering.
It's not overpowering, and it has the elegance of a great Bordeaux, and people really look for this, and this is coming back in a big way, where the old world, or the new world, was kind of all, you know, chunky fruit and all that. This is elegance, this is finesse, this is something that is quite special.
You really are getting a lot of bang for your buck now with this, aren't you?
You are, yeah, I would think so, yeah. It's €5 off. It would normally be €20, 14.95. And it's 2012 as well.
You robbed me last week.
Yeah, well, I think it was a vintage or two ago.
No, it was.
But so there's a genuine $5 off, and it's available in all O'Donovan's as we speak.
Very good, very good. Now, I want to ask you one or two more things, okay? I know you're one of the head lecturers or the chief lecturers in Britain and Ireland at this stage when it comes to wine.
Right, yeah.
And you're running your courses again this year,
the Cork Wine School, yeah. It's for people from abroad kind of see the Cork Wine School, say, what's about the Cork? It's Cork City, and doing it 20 odd years now. I'm a wine educator. I kind of signed up to spread the gospel of the wine, you know, 20 odd years ago, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the subject.
Who comes along to the
courses? I tell you,
people
it's a mix like yourself, students, people in hospitality, on trade, off trade, and people just want to learn more and enjoy wine more, because wine is there to be enjoyed. You can have a different bottle of wine every day for the rest of your life, and that's, you know.
I find by doing wine courses, and I've done very, very minute, small wine courses. Okay. But I find it gives you a knowledge of being able to say what you like. Yeah,
and
that's very important.
That means you don't get all freaked out when you're in a restaurant and someone gives you the wine list. You go, what am I going to do with it?
And you kind of hand it to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. So it gives people confidence, and they enjoy it more, and it really is a lifestyle thing, really, and it's something you bring everywhere. And of course, we give and I give, and the one that's starting next week is called a WSET Wine and Spirit Education Trust from London, who I lecture for, and it's a level 2. And as the Carlsberg ad people would say, if Carlsberg did wine courses, this would be the one. It's the top internationally recognised wine appreciation course. There is 8 weeks, 2 hours of lecture, and an exam at the end.
8 weeks, 2 hours lecture.
2 hours of lecture on a Tuesday night to do. I do them in the Clayton Hotel here, and so we're starting next week.
And
next
how much is that for the
About
course?
435, I think it is, and
but that covers all your course
Oh,
materials.
it does, yeah. You're tasting 5 or 6 wines a night and all that, and it's pretty intensive, but it's good fun, and I enjoy doing it.
Good.
And as long as I'm enjoying it and making people laugh, I'm a great believer in making people have fun. If they're having fun, they'll learn, you know.
And that's the thing, it's learning a vocabulary and knowing what you actually like.
Developing your vocabulary is spot on,
And kind of knowing what you don't like is kind of always more important.
And knowing what a court wine is and what something dodgy is like, and you know, and that happens. But the likes of the screw cap, the effect in that, different countries, the climate, and it's all part of it. And an exam to make you study at the end as well.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I have to say, in fairness, you've really topped it tonight, because these are 2 beautiful wines and 2 very, very good examples of European wines. No, I really appreciate you coming in. Gary, before we go, I know you're running a competition. Yep. And you're running a competition with the Cork Independent newspaper, and of course on your own website, on your own Facebook as well. And that's for a position on this course.
It is, we put it out there. So if there's anyone,
we're friends, so
if there's anyone looking or listening and looking us up, there's one place going a begging that you have to enter by Friday. Comment on the Facebook post or get on to Lorna at o'donovanslicense.com. We're looking for someone.
It's Lorna at o'donovanslicense.com.
Yeah.
You have to send a paragraph of why you should be on the course
exactly, and why you should be selected. And we want to get someone who's really up for it and who wants to come and learn and do the course and win it by this process. You know.
And how does the ticking mark exactly? I want to take notes. I want to take notes of exactly what to say.
I'd be hopefully reading all weekend to find the winner. So
good man.
And hopefully next Tuesday they'll be joining me and about 15 others in the Clayton Hotel at 7 o'clock to start the wine journey of their lives.
You're talking 15, 20 people.
They're small.
So it's quite intense.
Oh, it is, and it's kind of intimate there, and it's good, and that's a good.
And there's no stupid questions when it comes to wine,
there is the first night or two, but after that, I think we iron that out.
Fair enough. To your good health. Thank you very much. That is a lovely wine, and it's down now, Donovan, for the next. Have you had this on offer for the month?
September, that's for sure. Both of them,
now,
for sure.
by the way, it is my birthday, and you know what to buy me.
Cheers, Ken.
To your good health.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And back to you, Brenda.